Muğla province in southwestern Turkey is known for its postcard-perfect beaches and rugged mountain landscapes. But hidden beneath all that beauty is a growing dangerous problem: the explosion of the wild boar population. In just the past year alone, over 300 hectares of crops were destroyed, leaving hundreds of farmers devastated. What makes it worse? Pork isn't even commonly consumed in Turkey, which means their numbers are skyrocketing with almost no natural check. That's where hunters like us come in. It's not just about sport, it's about protecting livelihoods. And so we geared up ready to face an animal as cunning as it is destructive. Once we hit the western mountains of Datça, one of the region's wild boar hotspots, the action started almost immediately. Within minutes, a massive boar sprinted past us. Heart racing, rifles ready, we gave chase. One clean shot, and the first of the day went down. But here's the twist: it wasn't alone. Not even close. Suddenly, the forest came alive. Dogs barking, branches snapping, boars screaming, a full-on frenzy. These weren't small creatures, they were massive muscular beasts, charging like shadows through the trees. Every encounter felt like stepping into battle. Our team pressed forward, wave after wave, until another alpha boar broke from cover. Breath held, aim steady, one bullet dropped it instantly. The adrenaline was unreal, but just when we thought things were slowing down, an entire herd appeared. The air grew tense. Every hair on my body stood on end as they scattered through the brush, some sprinting, some charging. I lined up again, fired, and landed another critical hit. The ground shook under their movement, proof of just how many still lurked out there. Even on the way back, stragglers kept ambushing us from unexpected corners. Quick reflexes and sharp shots were the only reason we didn't end up on the wrong side of those tusks. Here's the terrifying part: wild boars can reproduce all year round, with each litter producing 6 to 12 piglets. Imagine the damage if even half survive. Without proper control, they'll keep tearing through farmland, spreading disease, and threatening anyone in their path. Taking down a few today, that's just a dent in an ongoing war. The hunt didn't start that morning though. It started the day before, when my friend Enzo called me. He had discovered a valley crawling with boars, and I couldn't say no. The terrain was vast, unforgiving, but the dogs led us right to the heart of it. About 150 meters away, dense grass and thick bushes concealed their lair. This was no ordinary hunt. It felt like walking straight into enemy territory. The dogs, fierce and fearless, were the real heroes, driving boars into the open, exhausting them until we had our chance. One huge beast broke from cover, charging like a freight train. My rifle cracked, and it fell, but not before the danger was real enough to remind us why people call them monsters. A single hit from one of these creatures can cripple a grown man. We stayed sharp, nerves wired tight. Not every shot came easy. Sometimes branches blocked my view, and I missed, giving the boar a chance to bolt. But the dogs never let up. Their instincts carried the hunt, chasing relentlessly until the beast had nowhere left to go. And while the thrill of every clean shot is unforgettable, it's the sheer unpredictability of these animals that keeps your pulse pounding. You never know if the next one is going to run or turn and charge. This isn't just hunting. It's survival, strategy, and split-second decisions. Drones gave us aerial advantage. High ridges became lookout points. We split into teams, covering escape routes, predicting their movements. Sometimes they bolted downhill like black lightning, other times they froze in thickets, eyes glowing, waiting to lunge. Each encounter was different, but the outcome depended on staying calm, focused, and ready to fire at the right second. In Siberia the challenge was even greater. The boars there were giants, 90 kilos or more, charging like tornadoes across snowy fields. Hunting in deep snow was brutal. Every step was slow, every shot harder, yet the adrenaline of seeing a black shadow burst from the trees, knowing one mistake could cost you, made every successful hit a moment of triumph. The team worked like a unit, rifles steady, dogs fierce, every sound amplified in the frozen silence. What makes these animals so dangerous isn't just their size or aggression, it's their intelligence. They adapt, change routes, and scatter in chaos to confuse hunters. They're survivors, and that's why their numbers keep rising. Left unchecked, they invade farms, destroy crops, and even creep into residential areas, leaving people terrified in their own homes. Muğla province in southwestern Turkey is known for its postcard-perfect beaches and rugged mountain landscapes. But hidden beneath all that beauty is a growing dangerous problem: the explosion of the wild boar population. In just the past year alone, over 300 hectares of crops were destroyed, leaving hundreds of farmers devastated. What makes it worse? Pork isn't even commonly consumed in Turkey, which means their numbers are skyrocketing with almost no natural check. That's where hunters like us come in. It's not just about sport, it's about protecting livelihoods. And so we geared up ready to face an animal as cunning as it is destructive. Once we hit the western mountains of Datça, one of the region's wild boar hotspots, the action started almost immediately. Within minutes, a massive boar sprinted past us. By dusk, after hours of relentless pursuit, exhaustion set in, yet even then, the boars kept coming. Herds charging roads leading into villages, stragglers darting across trails, lone alphas testing their luck. Every shot wasn't just a takedown, it was protection, a line drawn between chaos and safety. The locals know this. They breathe easier when hunting groups return successful, because every hunt isn't just a story of adrenaline and danger, it's one more step in keeping their homes, fields, and families safe. And while the battle against these feral giants is far from over, every hunt matters. Every hunt pushes back against an unstoppable tide. This is the reality of wild boar hunting. It's not just about the thrill, it's about survival, protection, and facing a beast that refuses to back down. And trust me, when you've stood eye to eye with one of these monsters, you understand just how high the stakes really are.